Is that good? How do you tell if people are really there for you? If your parents are really there for you? If your friends are really what they say they are? How can you tell that? Because it can be extremely elusive sometimes. Because your friends and family can say that they love you. That's one of the... Saying they love you is quite manipulative in many cases. Because it really doesn't matter if someone says that they love you. If they're not proving it to you, they don't have to do something superficial like give you something, some type of material item. But they need to make you feel as though you're loved. Just saying I love you or oh dude you're the best, just saying something holds so much less value than the feeling that you give them. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, it's so superficial just to be like, oh yeah man, like oh you're the best. Like if you're at work or something like that, oh dude I appreciate you, but then just all of a sudden blow up on you all the time. It's like, no man, you can't just contradict yourself over and over. It's not how it fucking works. You got to remain consistent, or else how can I even trust a single thing you say? You know what I'm saying? And then another way that I can tell that someone is really there for you is if they support your ever-changing views, and they don't try to make you stray off of those views. They just let you do what you want to do. Like if you change your diet or something like that, I've experienced this where like people know that I have changed my diet, like they know for a fact, but yet they're literally trying to make you stray off of that path. Like for example, if you go vegetarian and they know, and they offer you meat and things like that over and over, and it's like, bro, you know, it's like they're trying to fucking control your beliefs rather than just accepting it. Or another huge example would be you have friends that do drugs, and then you're trying to get off of drugs, and then I don't think it's a bad thing if your friends are doing drugs around you, but I do think it's bad if they're literally like getting mad at you for not doing them, or like trying to like just, hey dude, why aren't you doing it and stuff, like, you know, trying to convince you to do it. That is when it gets bad. And that's when it gets uncomfortable. You have to be respectful of people's beliefs. Like that is just so important. And it's something I'm trying to work on, but just it really, no matter what someone's belief is, you have to let them have that, because you don't know their perspective on it. You don't know what led them to believe a certain thing. Like how I'm sort of adamant recently about how college is sort of a scam, but most people, this is an issue with having especially beliefs that aren't popular, is that when you're around people who do have that popular belief, you really have to sit back and let them have that and not try to convince your belief too much. Because if you try to convince others of your beliefs like very hard, you try to push your beliefs onto others, then that's, in my experience, that comes off as insecurity. And you shouldn't try to force someone. It's okay to let them know about your beliefs and try to make them aware of, okay, this is how I believe, like, and give them some valid points. But then if they're still not agreeing with it, or they still are, I don't know about that, bro. Just let them sink in, especially with something like believing that college is good for you or whatever. If you are not in that belief and you're trying to be like, oh my God, dude, college is such a scam, to someone who is currently in college and has been for years, like, how are you going to expect to change someone's mind on that subject when they are currently in it, meaning they have convinced themselves day in, day out that it is the correct thing to do, and they have done so over the course of many, many, many years, and they're always around a bunch of people that also believe that. So all of a sudden, you can't just come out here and be like, oh, dude, that's so bullshit, with any belief. To someone who has believed that for so long, you can't just convince someone instantly from beliefs that have been a thing for so long. It's just not something that's going to happen. And beliefs and trying to control and change others' opinions is such a giant thing, And another example of that would be the coronavirus, because a lot of people believe that it's a setup or whatever, it's overblown, which I do believe, but I understand that 99% of people are under the belief that it's completely real. The news does not lie. There's nothing sketchy about it. And I'm not saying it's completely bullshit. I just think there's a lot of sketchy shit about it. And I think that the numbers are overblown, and I think that there is an intention behind that. That's my belief on it. But I know that I almost can't even tell people that I believe that, because it is such a it's a mind-shattering belief to other people. It's like, what are you talking about? And again, that is the issue with having beliefs that are completely counterintuitive to other to the masses' beliefs. You have to keep them to yourself a lot of times. You just have to. You can't be pushing it. And sometimes I have found that it is good, for example, all my coworkers believe very heavily in the coronavirus, and everybody I know believes in it a heavy amount. And I pretty much just give up, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty bad, man. I just give up. I don't even try to defend my case with the coronavirus. In other cases, maybe I would try to shed a little bit of light on it, but I've already tried with this one. And personally, I'm not trying to waste my energy too much in it, because I know I'm not going to be able to convince certain people of that it's somewhat a hoax, and it's just not even worth it, because I would have to go to such a far extent to be able to convert somebody. It's just, so the overarching point of this video is that just because you are so adamant about a belief does not mean that you have to convince others that it is true. It can still be true to you, even if another person doesn't agree with you. It's a hard thing to get over. It really is. But again, it does not matter if a bunch of people, it doesn't matter if 99% of people disagree with you. Almost everybody can disagree with you. If you feel as though if you have a belief about something, then and it feels correct to you, then you can keep that belief. There is nothing wrong with it. I don't know how you're feeling about a particular subject. You should continue to feel that way. So, yeah, the point of this is just stick with your beliefs, no matter what other people are thinking about it, and don't try to push your beliefs hard onto others. All right, guys, peace.